In today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the new top 5 meta loadouts to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. Now, in this video, I will show 5 attachment builds and also 8 attachment builds to help you get your first nuke, increase the amount of kills that you're getting, and also increase your KD. So if you guys are new and find this video to help you out in any way, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. So now, jumping into our first weapon here, we have the XM4, and we have an 8 attachment build for this weapon. We all know the XM4 is such a great weapon, fast time to kill, high mobility and handling, and honestly, it doesn't really have much recoil with the fast fire that it has here. But for my build, again, we have an 8 attachment class set up, and we're going to start with the optic here first, and we're going to be adding on the coupler microflex. This is my go-to choice. Like I say in my videos, this is the best and easiest optic to use here in Black Ops 6, so we're going to throw it on for our first attachment. Now for the muzzle next, we're going to be adding on the suppressor. This is going to be a stealthy build, so we're going to be off the radar, we're staying stealthy, we're being quiet to go on those higher kill streaks, get all of our score streaks, and help us get our first nuke. So we're going to add on the suppressor. It's going to keep us off the radar and staying stealthy, so this can help you increase your KD by a little. Now for the barrel next, we're going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. This is going to give us damage, range, and bull velocity. Now the XM4 is great up close and medium range, and it's okay at those longer ranges. I want to make that better so we have a faster time to kill in those longer range gunfights and also allow our bullets to travel a bit faster. So the reinforced barrel is going to allow our bullets to travel faster and hit our targets quicker, our bullets to travel further, hit harder to give us a quicker time to kill in those longer ranges. So make sure you have on the reinforced barrel. Now for the underbarrel, we're going to add on the Ranger foregrip. This is going to give us horizontal recoil control and sprinting movement speed. The main thing I'm running this is because of that sprinting movement speed. We have that tactical sprint. If you've copied my settings down, if you want to watch that, that'll be in the description. But I will say, with my playstyle, with my settings, this is going to help out so much with that aggressive playstyle, moving fast around the map because my movement is based on that tactical sprint. So the Ranger foregrip and my settings and everything is going to be a great combo, helping us be aggressive and everything. So we're going to throw on the Ranger foregrip. If you need help unlocking anything here in Black Ops 6, make sure to check out U4GM. They can help you with any challenge in the game, from camo challenges to any hard challenge in the game. They also provide very cheap codes to redeem, like XP codes and rare skins. Go use my code PARA for 5% off. The magazine next, we're going to be adding on the first extended mag. The weapon does have a fast fire rate, so I don't want to have to fly through bullets all the time, reload in the middle of a gunfight, get killed, do all that again. So the extended mag 1 is going to allow us to just be able to mow people down, not reload after a kill or 2 or 3. We're going to keep able to just mow people down, go crazy, and the extended mag 1 is going to allow us to do that. So we're going to add on the first extended mag. The rear grip next, we're going to be adding on the commando grip. This can help with aim down sight speed and sprint the fire speed. The sprint the fire speed on this weapon really isn't the best, so I do want to increase that a little bit, but also with us having good handling, let's make it better with our aim down sight speed. So in our gunfights, we're aiming down sights faster than our opponent, shooting faster off a sprint than our opponent, and winning those gunfights. So the commando grip is going to help out a ton. Now, jumping into the stock here next, we're going to be adding on the brand new buffer weight stock. Now, this attachment gives us a lot of gun kick control, vertical recoil control, and gun kick control. So if there's any gun kick, vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, all that's getting canceled out with this attachment, and you're going to have full control of your weapon, be super accurate. And the good thing here, we don't have to run the compensator on the XM4 with this attachment. So we can keep the suppressor on or run something different, but also have great control with this stock. So make sure to have this on. And then for my final attachment on this weapon, there's a couple choices that you could go with. You go with rapid fire, nothing wrong with that. Over pressure rounds, you can get more bull velocity for your weapon, or you could run the recoil springs for a little bit more recoil control and all that if you want to, but my go-to choice is going to be the overpressure rounds, just for a little bit more bull velocity on our weapon. But we'll take this gun into the firing range real quick, and I mean, this gun, no recoil whatsoever, a great time to kill, and even up close and personal, this thing is just going to be super disgusting. Now for my next weapon here, we have the SOG SMG, which in my opinion is the fast killing SMG here in the game as of right now. This is definitely one of the best weapons in the game, so of course it needs to be on today's list. For this class setup though, we have a 5 attachment build, and we're going to start with the muzzle, and we're going to be starting with the compensator for our first attachment. We're just getting a lot of gun kick control and vertical recoil control. Now the SOG does have a crazy fast fire rate, so we definitely want to have attachments on here that's going to calm that down. So the compensator, it just makes sense running this for our first attachment. Now for the barrel next here, we're going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. This can give us damage, range, and bull velocity. Now, the weapon is okay at medium range. It's not the best, but this attachment here is going to make it better in those medium to longer range gunfights. Up close, you do not have to worry about it. The damage is perfect on the weapon up close. We just need to work on it a little bit in those medium range gunfights, because we're not going to take our gunfights to 40 to 50 meters with this SMG. I mean, unless you have to, if it's a do or die situation, but most of the time, you're not even getting into those gunfights like that. It's going to be wild with the SOG, but we're going to get that damage range. We're going to get that bull velocity. The bull velocity is going to allow our bulls to travel faster. That's going to be a great combo with this SMG, with it having a fast fire, but the main thing is our weapon's going to have better damage range in those longer ranges, so add on the reinforced barrel. Now we're going to jump over here to the rear grip next, and we're going to be adding on the ergonomic grip. This can help with slide and dive to fire speed, so we're going to be shooting faster off a slide and shooting faster off a dive, and you guys know me already. I like to dive, and sometimes I like to slide. It just depends on me, but in my gunfights, I'm always diving. I'm a dolphin in this game, so there's a skill gap in that, so definitely being able to shoot faster off a dive is going to help me out. And if you like to use the Omni movement, this is going to help you out as well. And also with this attachment, we're getting some aim down sight speed, so we're aiming down sights faster, and off a dive and off a slide, we're going to be shooting faster. So definitely adding this on is going to help if you're using the Omni movement a lot. Now for the stock here next, we're going to be adding on the light stock. This is going to give us some movement speed, strafing movement speed, and hip fire movement speed. This is just going to help running faster around the map, and also in those gunfights, if we move left and right, we can dodge those bullets in our gunfight. So the mobility is high on this weapon, so I'm not going to add on the balance stock. I feel like the light stock is going to be a better choice here because of the movement speed we're getting and the strafing movement speed. That's all I'm really worried about, because the aim locking movement speed on this weapon is already good, so I really don't need to worry about that. And then for my final attachment, we are going to the fire mods, and we're going to be adding on the recoil springs for a little bit more vertical and horizontal recoil control. And we're going to throw this on, take this weapon into the firing range, and I mean, I'm telling you, this weapon has no recoil whatsoever. Great up close, medium range, it doesn't matter. The SOG with this build is super overpowered. Now for my third weapon here, we have the AIMS 85 assault rifle. Now this assault rifle is going to be the main weapon in the CDL, so this is going to be a popular assault rifle all year. You're not going to see many buffs or nerfs on this weapon because they usually don't do that in the CDL, but for my class setup, we have a 5 attachment build on this weapon, and we're going to start with the optic, and I like to use the Kepler Microflex on basically every single weapon in the game. Like I say, this is the best and easiest optic to use in the game, so this is going to be my first attachment. Now, with the fire rate being pretty quick on this weapon, I'm going to be adding on the compensator. This is the best muzzle in the game, like I say in my videos as well. The most vertical recoil control, the most gun kick control. I want you to have the best accuracy and the best control of your weapon, so go ahead and throw on that compensator. Now for the barrel next, we're going to be adding on the long barrel. Now one thing of using the AIMS 85 for a good while is the damage that it has at longer ranges. Now up close, medium range, this weapon's great. Not so much at those longer ranges. Like if it's going against the Krig C, the Model L, the AK-74, I mean, it's just not going to win those gunfights. So adding on the long barrel is going to increase our damage at longer ranges so we can win those gunfights going against AK-74s, XM4s, Model Ls, Krig Cs especially. So definitely adding on the long barrel is going to help out a ton. Now for the underbarrel next, we're going to be adding on the vertical foregrip. This can help with horizontal recoil control. And we do get a little bit of gun kick control as well. So with this class setup now, we're getting both vertical and horizontal recoil control and a lot of gun kick control. So this weapon isn't going to move at all, and you're going to have full control of this weapon. And then get into my final attachment, we are going to the rear grip, and we're going to be adding on the commando grip. This can give us some sprint to fire speed time and some aim down sight speed. With assault rifles, really, most of them really don't have the best sprint to fire speed time. So we're going to add this on here to help with that sprint to fire speed time, but also with that aim down sight speed, it could be a little bit faster, so that's going to help in our gunfights. But we will take this weapon into the firing range, and I will show you. I mean, at 5 meters, it deletes. 10 meters, it's really good. 25 meters is really good, and even at 50 meters, it's really good as well. I mean, the AIMS 85, all it really needs is some damage range, and this weapon is pretty broken. Now, for our next weapon here, we have the AS Val, which is one of the fast-killing weapons in the entire game. Even after its nerf at the beginning of the game, it did not stop how good this weapon is. Now, for my class setup, we have a 5 attachment build because it really doesn't make sense to run Gunfighter on this weapon because you can't use certain attachments if you have certain attachments on. It's weird, I know, but we're going to start with the barrel, and we're going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. You're getting a lot of bull velocity, a lot of damage range, and like I say about the AS Val, the good thing about the AS Val, all the barrels are suppressed by default, so automatically you do have a stealthy, quiet build, but you're getting a ton of bull velocity, a ton of damage range, making this weapon better at longer ranges, so we're going to throw this on for our first attachment. Now for the underbarrel, we're going to be adding on the vertical foregrip. That's going to give us a ton of horizontal recoil control and a tiny bit of gun kick control. This weapon needs it. It doesn't really have the best recoil or the gun kick, so we definitely need to calm this weapon down in its recoil and gun kick, so we're going to throw this on for a second attachment here. Now in the magazine, always run the Mag 2. This can give you a 40 round mag. Cinemag 3 only gives you 45, which I really don't understand why they only give us, like, why couldn't they just bump this up to 50 or 55? I just feel like that makes sense, but we're not going to rant about that. Just run the 40-round mag. This should be the only magazine you should run on the AS Val. I think this is a must-have attachment, so go ahead and throw this on. Now, this is where it gets weird on the AS Val. If you run a rear grip, you can't run a stock. If you run a stock, you can't run a rear grip. So it doesn't matter what you run. You have to run one or the other. So with the rear grip, if you're going to choose one, I would go with the assault grip with the sprint to fire speed that we're getting. The aim down sight speed on this weapon is really good. I don't really mind it. So the sprint to fire speed is really the only thing that I want to worry about if I'm going to run a rear grip. Now, if I'm not going to run a rear grip and I want to run a stock, I'm going to run the balanced stock for that extra mobility. Now, the mobility is good on this weapon already. The handling is okay. I want to make the mobility better. I'm going to run the balanced stock. So it's totally on what you want to run here. But for me personally, I'm going to be adding on a rear grip, which is going to be the assault grip. So I want that extra sprint to fire speed time in my gunfight. So personally for me, the assault grip is going to be my choice. And then for the final attachment here, we are going to the fire mods, and we're going to be adding on the recoil springs for a little bit extra gun kick control, horizontal and vertical recoil control, just to give this build a little bit extra control in our weapon so we have better control and accuracy for our class setup. And also, we will take this weapon into the firing range, and I think this is the easiest build to use if you're trying to control your weapon on the AS Val, but it has a great time to kill at long range, and it has 0 recoil. And then jumping into our final weapon in today's video, guys, we have the Tanto 22, which is one of the best long-range weapons in the entire game. And the crazy thing about it, it's an SMG, just makes it wild. An SMG good at long range. You never thought that would happen. But for my class setup, we have an 8 attachment build, so make sure you have on Gunfighter. And we're going to start with the optic here first, and you guys already know me. We're going to be adding on the Kepler Microflex. This is the easiest optic to use in the entire game. Very clean picture, the best optic, so I'm going to be throwing this on for my first attachment. For the muzzle next, we're going to be adding on the compensator. Now, I like to use the compensator on most of my guns anyways because it is the best muzzle, but also the Tanto, it doesn't really have bad recoil, but it has some weird gun kick. I like using the compensator for my gun kick control as well, so I'm going to throw this on. It's going to calm that recoil down. There's not really much anyway, so that's going to be good. But the main thing is we're calming that gun kick down, so you're going to be more accurate. Your weapon's going to be more smooth in your gunfight, so definitely add on the compensator. Now for the barrel, we're going to be adding on the reinforced barrel. Now the weapon did get a damage range buff with it already being good at longer ranges. So the weapon's already insanely good, but they made it even better after its buff. So we're going to add on the reinforced barrel to make it even better with that extra damage range that we're getting, and also a little bit of bullet velocity, so our bullets are traveling faster, hitting harder at longer ranges to give us a faster time to kill in those longer range gunfights. So we're going to add on the reinforced barrel. Now for the underbarrel next, add on the Ranger foregrip. The only reason why I'm running this attachment is because of that sprinting movement speed. This is going to be able to just help us move fast around the map. The Tanto does have good mobility already, so adding this on is just going to make that better. We're moving fast around the map and everything, so definitely add on the Ranger foregrip. Now the magazine, you could go with the Flip Mag or the Extended Mag 1. I would not use the Extended Mag 2 or Fast Mag 1. Definitely one of the first one or the second one. It doesn't really matter on what you want to use. If you want to reload quick, still move around the map quick, or if you want a larger mag, still move around the map quick. It's really on what you want to feel like, but honestly for me, I like to run the first extended mag. Now for the rear grip here, I'm going to be running the quick draw grip. This can help with a lot of aim down sight speed. Now, the handling is good on this weapon. Now, the sprint to fire speed is okay. And I mean, with it being okay, we really don't have to worry about sprint to fire speed. So I want to work on some aim down sight speed. So this is going to help out in our gunfights, just aiming down sights faster than our opponents, so we're more accurate in our gunfights. So add on the quick draw grip. The stock here next, we're going to be adding on the balanced stock to increase our mobility, so we're going to be moving faster around the map, get into more engagements. We're going to have wheels on our feet, moving faster while aimed down sights, strafing left to right faster and everything, so add on the balanced stock. And then for my final attachment here, we are going to the fire mods, and we're adding that rapid fire on just to completely break this weapon. It's going to delete people very quickly up close, and you're still going to have great control of this weapon at longer ranges, so it can take out people much faster. And also, we're going to jump into the firing range with this weapon, and this weapon deletes people very quickly. And even with rapid fire, look at this, 50 meters, I'm still hitting people with rapid fire. It's just absolutely insane. But in my opinion, these are the top 5 best class ups used right now here in Black Ops 6 Season 1. So go ahead and copy them down and let me know in the comments what was your favorite build, and also if you go crazy with any of these class ups. But guys, thanks so much for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.